afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Last Epoch dev stream. As always, I'm your host, Mike. It's great to be here. I hope you're having a good day, good night, good morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Oh, I forgot to turn that sound off. Gotta get that phone charging. Alright, well, we're here. We're playing a little Last Epoch. If this is your first time here, I am one of the developers on this game, and it's pretty cool. And I just like to play around and answer some questions. So if anyone here's got any questions, please feel free to ask them in chat. Slap an at least Last Epoch game on the question, and I will answer it. Hi, Steve. We're just gonna be playing through the monolith. I'll probably head on into some dungeons as well because it's been a little bit since I've done one on this character. And we've got a few levels recently. So I might be able to handle it a little bit better. We were a little under level before, and our gear was a little crappy. I'm going the wrong way. And for anyone here who's their first time, we do also stream for charity, so any and all money that comes in from the stream goes directly to them. Right now, our charity is St. Jude's Research Children's Hospital, I think? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. The research might be wrong. It's a hospital, it helps kids. While we're just getting things going here, in other news, I got a 3D printer. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. It's one of the really bare bones basic ones, but it can make small figurines that do nothing. Keep wanting me to throw the hat. Yeah, it's a good hat. I found a better helmet and I was considering trying to build with it, but it doesn't look as cool, so the hat stays. Oh, I know what's today. Today is one of 4 streams a year that is going to be extremely light, with very few people here, and that's totally okay. But I don't know why I didn't click, but so today is, there's another game in the genre that releases a patch today. Pretty sure it's today. It probably came out like 2 hours ago. And it's mildly popular, just a little bit, whatever. But we like to stream anyways. I'll have a fun time here. If anyone has some questions they want answered, I will be happy to do that. 3D print you a barbarian mastery? I don't think that's how it works, really. Nope, just started? Oh, okay. Hello, Diddless. How's it going? Whoa! Getting me to look away. Got him. That's how we do. At work, I'm your distraction. Happy to be distraction. Oh, you're queued to get in? Yep. Alright. Let's get a unique item, right? Why not, eh? The bottom of my right foot is incredibly itchy, and I have no idea why. It just started, right as the stream started, it was like your foot's gonna be really itchy. I'm trying to scratch it on the floor with my other foot. It's not working. We had our first multiplayer test with people that were not EHG staff. The very first time anyone who wasn't EHG staff ever played our multiplayer happened on Tuesday. Some CTs got in there. Went really well. It was awesome. Had a ton of fun. I wasn't actually playing. There was a few people, I think, of our team that were playing with them, but I wasn't. I was just hopping around their groups and watching what was going on. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Like, I don't want to say it went like better than expected or worse than expected, but like, I don't know, it was something like that. There's always a small part of you that's nervous, regardless of how much you prepared for it. Like, I don't know, you ever take like a test that you prepared for a lot, but still you're like the lead up to it, you're nervous and you're like, what's gonna happen? Who knows? It was still like that. Luckily, we studied really well, and the worries were for naught. You don't think I'm sending in-game sound? Oh no! Oh, you're totally right. How's that? My headset did that thing where it's like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm not the same headset I was, even though nothing changed and you didn't unplug me at all. The hardware of this headset is wonderful. We'll leave it at that. I was doing channeling stuff. Lightning ward. Don't have any of those things. It's like the most anti-my-build item ever. All right, where are we at? Let's get some experience nodes, because I want a level. No experience nodes. Oh, there's one. All right, let's go for it. There's another one above too as well. Yeah, Diddles. Oh yeah, okay. I didn't actually see that question, but yes, the test went great. I don't have any info on like when's the next test or anything like that, or like when is it going to be open for getting into it for other people or anything like that. Like I don't know any of that info. But yeah, I am really excited for the next one. I don't know when that's going to be either. I have so little information on it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It went really well. I don't know, we didn't, there weren't any like, oh my god, oh no, everything's collapsing moments, which was really nice.
Not happening.
Bow damage shard. Even though I've got 100, I'll still take it. Random name X. Since uniques are, oh thanks for reposting with the tag. I appreciate it. Since uniques are so easy to make, why don't you guys just throw together a dozen build changing uniques and throw us non-CTs a bone instead of making us wait 6 months for a patch? Feels bad, man. So okay, uniques are uniques are not super easy to make. Oh, first off, start there. There's a lot that goes into making a unique. And there's lots of different stages. Some stages of making uniques are really easy. And some stages of making uniques are really easy compared to others. So there's there's the ideation stage where you're just like picking what it's going to be. And that's surprisingly involved, actually. Just getting like the exact stats that are going to show up on it. Even not the exact stats, but just like the rough stats. And just getting that laid out where it's not going to break the game, obviously. And it's going to be exciting. And it's going to like all these things. Just getting that decided upon is surprisingly involved time-wise. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff. Daedalus has gifted a sub to Father Toast. Thank you very much. And congrats to Father Toast. Is your son's name Bread? Brad. There's the joke. Missed it by that much. Anyways, I think the easiest part about making a unique is actually like getting the functionality running for the most part. Sometimes there's really difficult things to do for it if it's a really specialized feature, but like lots of the time, ooh, a Temporal Sanctum key. Lots of time just getting the item from this is what I want to, it's in the game and it works, is actually pretty easy. Ooh, big CDR. That's nice. And then there's the art as well, which can happen pretty quick, but there's a lot of other things that go on at the same time. And then what probably takes the longest part of the process actually is balancing, tuning, and testing. And when I say time, I'm also not referring to like just number of days. I guess referring to time more of from a man hours perspective, or a person hours, or a development time perspective. So like how many hours is spent in total. So if 10 people spend 1 hour each, that's 10 hours, or if one person spends 10 hours on it, that's 10 hours. And because at this stage you get a lot of people involved in it, you end up with a lot of time investment. And so quite often we do like to do a bunch of them all together. But the key thing is that if we did decide to do like a unique pack, it also delays all the other things we're working on. Because we like to, I guess, limit the number of things you're working on simultaneously. Because quite often working on like 8 things at the same time, like context switching takes a long time. Fun fact about so like little aside here, context switching takes a lot of brain power compared to keeping on the same thread. So there was a Jeopardy contestant, I don't remember his name, not Ken Jennings, but like the next highest total winnings, but then he's also the guy that won the most per episode he was on. So he didn't last as long as Ken Jennings, but he won more per episode. Can't remember his name, but he pioneered he like quit his job and practiced for a couple years, where he pioneered a technique where he would bounce around the board. And up until this point, everyone would get in the category they like and just run the whole category down. And it worked really well because if you're in a category you're good at and you can run the board down, you can get them all and get lots of points really quickly. But at the same time, everyone else gets used to that category and gets comfortable and starts answering them, and they can jump in and steal. And so this guy, he practiced Jeopardy questions by context switching really quick, by bouncing around categories. It was never the same category twice. And this led to a technique where by jumping around and context switching so much, all the other contestants were just sitting there confused and they couldn't get a handle on it, and he would just run away with games like crazy. He did quite a few other things as well. It wasn't just that, but that was like the big thing, and it actually had this ripple effect throughout the Jeopardy, the world as a whole, where suddenly everyone started practicing this way and doing this, and it's common practice now in Jeopardy. And he changed the whole face of how Jeopardy is played, which I think is really cool that a game that had been around for that long can get like an entire strategy revamp with no rule changes. Like someone just discovered something new. I think it's really cool. It's like someone discovers a new technique in a speedrunning glitch or something, you know? Anyways, what am I getting at here? So it's a similar thing with work, with with game development, anything really, context switching takes time. And so quite often we try to limit that if possible, and so we'll try and do a whole bunch of items all at once. And there are things you can put on the back burner and just be like, okay, well, every day I'll work a little bit on this as sort of like a cooldown or something that's easy to do, and that works too, but we like to bundle things together when we can. I was right, it was St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Haha, nailed it. Sorry, I just saw the notice pop up. Anyways, that's one reason why we... And okay, then on top of that as well, quite often you can get... There's very few knock-on effects for unique items. So we can quite often get quite a lot of unique items done near the end of a patch cycle, and... it doesn't really cause problems elsewhere in the game very often. Sometimes it does, but normally we can do it without big issues. So we like to shift that towards the end of the patch cycle. Now, I will say that we are going to be in a longer patch cycle here, which is, I mean, like, things may change. So I could be wrong with this. Maybe we'll do something. But right now, the plan is not to release a sort of like a larger hotfix patch mid-patch cycle, if that makes any sense. And I know it sucks to have a wait like that, and maybe we'll talk about doing something, but right now there's no plans for it as far as I know. I think of all the things we could release in something like that, yeah. Uniques, I think, would be a good candidate. Just doing the patch in general is tricky as well, so a lot of time goes into producing an appropriate build candidate, a build release, and all these things, and like stability testing for releasing patches. And if we can avoid taking all the time for that, that saves us time in the long run. So it's sort of a balancing act of what do we need to get done, what do we want to get done, and what can we get done. And the total time we have between now and launch is like it's fairly limited, it's fairly finite, and so we have to look at all the things that if we're going to do something like that, that's going to take up some amount of that time between now and launch, that's going to add total time to the development, like hours of development time. It needs, something else needs to get cut, or it's going to push the deadline, you know? And we don't really want to do either of those things. So I'd say it's unlikely, but possible. Yeah, okay, uniques are easy to make, quote, yes. I probably should have said, uniques are easy to make relative to many other things. There's a lot of other things that are way harder to make. I was probably referring to the implementation side of it mostly, which is generally the easiest part. But I don't know, we'll see. Like, I don't think we've had a patch cycle this long, so things could change. I don't know. I will help you with 1 ID for free mana strike. Cast meteors on hit 1 second cooldown. I wonder where I've seen that before. Oh, we got a fresh question here from a first time chatter. Turgelmar. Interesting name. I don't know what it means. That's cool. What is the most exciting upcoming unreleased feature that you can talk about that isn't multiplayer? Okay, good thing you added that because I was going to say multiplayer for sure. I mean, I think the easy answer is like one of the new mastery classes. So for me, it'd be the Falconer personally. Is there a more interesting answer to that question? Probably. For me, it's definitely the Falconer. Little things like this, like 15 plus, is going to go away, and it's going to just be the actual number. That's really exciting, I think. We have okay. Here's something. We recently. Oh, here we go. We recently changed the way we do network communications for ailment statuses and ailment information in general. And this comes along with some other changes to ailments as well that allow this change to happen, which is going to sort of a roundabout way of me saying we're probably gonna have a way of fixing the poison problem. So the poison problem is that every single stack of poison reduces the target's poison resistance. And in multiplayer, those stacks can get incredibly high, incredibly fast. Even single player, they can ramp up really fast. And this like self-multiplicative effect of each stack making every stack stronger causes some scaling issues compared to other ailments. So these new systems we have for both communicating across networks, how many stacks everything has, and also just changing the structure of the ailment code in general has given us the ability to fix the poison problem. So I think that's exciting as well. It's also going to give us some new tools to make other ailments a little bit more interesting and unique. So one thing that we hear quite a bit is, hey, bleed and ignite are basically just damage type conversions of each other. They're exactly the same thing. There's no difference. And now we're going to have a way to bring a little bit more interesting mechanics to those. More unique mechanics. Make them feel a little distinct. Have them function differently. Yeah. What is the total time between now and launch if that amount of time is finite? Great question! Not going to answer that, I'm sorry. Okay, so technically it's not finite, really. Well, okay, it's finite but not exact. How about that? It's an unknown finite amount. We have a goal, and we want to hit that goal. If the game's not ready by that goal, we'll push it and release it when it's ready. But everything we do plans for hitting that goal. So yeah, we always want to be going as fast as we can, and like get everything done as quickly as possible, and like we want to launch the game now, but we're still missing some features, and it wouldn't exactly be a finished game if we did right now.
Easy.
Will achievements be a thing? If you've got a question for me, don't forget to put at Last Epoch Game in the question. I'll be more likely to see it. It's a little slow day today because there's something else going on in the world. Who knows what that is. Will achievements be a thing? Yeah, achievements will be a thing. Ooh.
Easy. Too easy.
My goodness, there's a few enemies here. One or two, here and there. Boom, boom. Multiplayer when it's ready. Another question here from Nexus Dev. Don't forget to put out Last Epoch Game in your question if you've got one, and I'll see it easier. Will there be an increase in monster density? It's always fun to clear lots of monsters at once in other ARPGs. I think that there will be, so there's certain zones where there's a lot more monsters than others, and especially noticeable in Monolith, there's some density issues in certain areas and certain situations, and part of that's because the monsters are added procedurally, and sometimes those procedural systems have gaps. So yeah, there will be changes to that system to make it more consistent that will be increasing the density in certain situations. But I wouldn't say yes to like an across the board, yeah, it's just going to go up or anything like that. Can't remember what all these are because they're kind of buried down here. I do love this one. I'm just gonna pump it. Just the Dex and glancing blow is just so good. Any plans to maybe add a Fist of Heaven style skill to Sentinel class? I mean, Smite, especially with lightning tendrils, is incredibly similar. And I just realized you might not have been talking about Fist of Heavens. FOH to me is Diablo 2 Fist of Heavens. And I would say Smite is really similar. If that's not what you were talking about, please let me know what you were talking about. And that is base Sentinel because there's a Void version conversion in Void Knight. Yeah, so it was originally a Paladin skill, and we moved it because there was like a unique that made a Void version or something like that, and we're like, this is cool. It's less awesome on Forge Guard, but there is a version where it uses a Hammer Throw to proc it that's really strong as well. Also a version that uses Javelin to proc it that's really strong. Hello, when are server-based character saves expected to be added? That will happen at the same time multiplayer's opened up. So, when it's ready. Because I don't have exact timeline on multiplayer, but yeah, that's as soon as multiplayer happens, when you're playing multiplayer, your save files will go online. But offline characters will still be offline, and you'll still play them with local saves. Like we won't move your characters that you have on your computer onto our servers. We're not going to do that. Accepting file uploads like that is dangerous, misguided. There's a few words for it. Kind of related question: what piece of cut content were you saddest to see go that hasn't been repurposed? Like, I have a couple answers, but it's either stuff that I know will get repurposed or just come back in general. That ability should die when the enemy dies. I don't know why it didn't there. A couple of them. Maybe like if it's starting while they die, or if they die while it's starting. But there's a bug in there somewhere. I don't know. I cut content that I'm saddest to see go. I mean, there's a whole bunch of like ideas and things. Okay, you know what? I know what it is. This is so weird. It is the switch weapons. Having like a secondary weapon to switch to. That's what it is. Like, I get why we can't have it, but oh, I wish we could. When Mike doesn't even use smoke bomber decoy. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that hard. I use them when I need to. Remember, was it last week or the week before? I had to do the, I did the arena champion, and I got to rogue, and I was probably under geared for it. I feel like I used them really well there to do that. I sometimes also toss decoy really far away in like the opposite direction of where I'm fighting, just as like just toss over there and see what happens. To whom must we pay 1,000 USD to get the Meteor unique made? Is it you? I know it isn't Ishii Kane. I will take up collection. I mean, there are certain members of the team that absolutely love Meteor as a skill. It's definitely their favorite skill. And let's just say they have quite a bit of pull in the company. Maybe the most pull of anyone in the company. Okay, definitely it's Judd. He loves Meteor. I would be surprised if we don't see any more awesome Meteor uniques anytime soon type thing. I don't know if it'll necessarily be that exact one that didn't get made, but there were a lot of things. There were a lot of community ideas in those polls that we really liked. And I can see some themes from some of those things being repurposed a little bit and tweaked and adjusted and maybe brought back in a slightly different form. Maybe it's not an item, maybe it's a node, maybe it's a set bonus, maybe it's a, I don't know, an idol, maybe it's a blessing. These are getting a little out there, but you know what I mean. I'd be, I wouldn't be surprised to see something at least tangentially related. We go through a lot of unique ideas, like anyone on the team who like wants to. We've got our own like Discord for development, and frequently like we just got a channel for unique ideas, and people just sort of toss ideas in there, and every once in a while, Trisoki or myself or Kane or Reimer. Justin, there's a bunch of people that will sort of like go through there and pick out different ideas, and we'll talk about them, you know. And so we get a lot of ideas for unique items, and they change a lot throughout the development process of getting any one of them made. Sometimes like one item will have just like one little theme from it get turned into a whole different item. Weapon swap with teleport on the swap. Oops, wrong game. Yeah, get that teleport charges staff, and away you go. I always went for an amulet. That budget hammered in. Enigma is the best and worst item in that game.
Not happening.
Chests still don't work in multiplayer. It's really funny. You open them and just nothing comes out. And Like, we told all the CDs this. It's still, like, and they all knew. They all open a chest and they go, oh, yeah, right, there's nothing in there. It's just that, like, you're so conditioned. I do it too, still, on multiplayer testing. I'll open chests all the time. You're so conditioned to open a chest. And, like, it glows and sparkles and you can click it, everything still. And so it's this, like, you're just so used to it. You just click them, even though you know nothing's coming out, you still click it. Yeah, I got my Streets of New Capenna. Commander decks showed up. Picked up a pair of those. Mm-hmm. Some decent ones in there. XP! Give me that sweet, sweet XP. The launcher staff is really cool. Yeah. Hold up. Did I just drift off, or did you explain why we can't have weapon swap, or just say we couldn't have it? Why can't we have weapon swap? I did not explain why we can't have weapon swap. I'll be honest, this was, we went through that process, year and a half, 2 years ago. It's been quite a while, probably 2 years now, since we've talked about weapon swap. And I do not remember all the details of that conversation well enough to explain it here confidently. But it is a design decision of why we don't have weapon swap. There was some networking stuff too, but I do remember. I don't remember the conversation well enough to go into all of it. Part of it had to do with snapshot problems, just making snapshotting even easier and making it basically required, and then ending up with the burden of optimal play being too intense. That was part of it. There was something else that was really major too. I can't remember what it was. It was a really good reason. It was a really good reason. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was. I was sad, but I agreed with it. Trying. I'm sorry. We are working to handle snapshotting stuff more as well. So, like, I guess reasons can go away, but there was something else that was enough even without snapshotting. Because that is something that's going to be gone eventually. Oh, one more before I gotta go. With the throwing tag for skills, was there ever consideration put towards thrown weapon types? Absolutely. We kind of wanted, I guess, throwing skills to be possible as hybrid builds. So where you could still do something else with it. Now, part of the big thing about throwing is you're not actually throwing your weapon itself. You're throwing some, like, magical construct of a weapon, or, you know, like, it's not the literal you're throwing your weapon. We try and work that in a little bit on some nodes. Like, for example, there's a shield throw node that buffs the throw a whole bunch, but you can't block while it's thrown. And so that's trying to sort of represent, like, you've thrown your shield, so you can't block with it because you don't have it anymore, right? And we try and work those things in a little bit, but for the most part, you're not actually, like, throwing your weapon or throwing your shield. You're throwing some, like, representation or mechanical or magical version of that weapon or shield. The new death animation stuff that we teased, it's so good. It like, oh, the updates to combat feel are amazing. And I know I'm like saying these things and there's gonna be a big gap and it sucks, but like, it was one of those things where I didn't like when we were first talking about it and everything. I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna have that big of an impact. Oh boy, was I wrong. I love being wrong about that stuff. Hey, Beetle Boy. Let's go. Yeah. Freeze that guy for me. Beetle Boy's pulling its weight. Heavy asks, will multiplayer release inherent... Will multiplayer release inherent at least a first balance pass? I think that's include. Will multiplayer release include at least a first balance pass, and will balance be one of the major focuses after multiplayer is released? Yes. I think that there will be... There's certain things, so here's a great example, it's already happening. There's certain things that we know are obviously going to be broken in multiplayer. That, like, we know, we knew when we made them that it would be busted in multiplayer. We either have plans for fixing them already, or are, oh, got some beer! Don't see that every day. Who's shooting me? Go away, I want to pick up my beer. And, oh, I used it, dang it. Beer's just a potion anyways, if in case anyone was wondering. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. There's things we already know is going to be broken, overpowered, and so a really good example of this is, you may have noticed that Healing Hands does not have a skill tree still. Healing Hands does not have a skill tree because we know that so many of the things we were originally planning on doing with Healing Hands would be really broken in multiplayer. And so we wanted to be able to test it and get a feel for it as we were making that skill tree in a multiplayer environment to make sure it was fun and useful and not mandatory, and you know, all these things in a multiplayer environment we're first making, so we didn't have to remake it. This is that, like, not doubling up on time spent issue again. So yeah, there's things that we've intentionally held off on specifically for that, and then other things that we're preparing for in multiplayer. So the as I was talking about before, the poison problem, whereby if everyone in your group is running a poison build, all of the poison builds get stronger immediately, and having a 5-person or 4-person poison team is unbelievably strong. Finding a way to make it not scale ridiculous like that, but still have it scale somewhat, and then still have it be fun in single player, you know, like having that balance work. And we have a potential solution for that, and I'm skirting around saying what that solution is because it's not in and tested yet, and I don't want to like say what it is and promise something and not deliver on it type thing. But yeah, so we're working on that. I just realized I'm probably over the number to get at this boss, and I'm just doing echoes for fun at this point, which is good because I do have fun with them. So yeah, there are things that have happened, are happening, and will happen around balance in multiplayer with regards to that release, and I'm sure there will be a large number of incredibly powerful synergies that everyone's gonna miss by the time release happens, and there will be some balance patches that happen pretty early on. And part of that, the reason we do these slow rollouts for multiplayer is to catch things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if there were things found in the first half dozen tests that we didn't even consider, you know. So yeah, we'll be tackling low hanging fruit first.
Not happening.
Whew. A little warm in there. A little warm in these rhinos. Name that movie. There's another quote from it. The rubber-faced comic himself. The one, the only, the Canadian. A Jim Carrey.
Not
All
happening.
right. Let's get another question here. Have you played? Sanctuary Reaper asks, Have you played any of the first season of D2R? Been having a blast in it myself. Found some GG items. A 2018 Sork Torch, for example. Shivers, goosebumps all over. No, I played a tiny little bit of it. Like leveled one character, got a merc. I was just trying to Act 5 mercs out, and can't remember the name of the new rune word now. The new like leveling rune word for mercs. Got one of those going, but I haven't really played much of it now. Like that was I played a weekend, you know. Which is enough to like get to like farming end game stuff. What commander? Okay. The first one, the one that I actually finished the deck for, is the Pulverizer. I can't remember his name. Perry the Pulverizer. He's a 3/3 for 4. When he enters the battlefield, put a shield counter on target creature you control. Whenever he attacks, target creature you control gets +X and gains trample until end of turn, where X is the number of different counters on permanents you control. And I was trying to figure out where the line was on that. That's exactly what I thought it was originally, but I was I'm like, does like suspend, does that count? Like put time counters on suspended objects in exile? No, because you don't control exiled permanents, so it doesn't work. Which I expected. And then like energy counters, which they're on you. They're not on permanents like experience counters. They're on you, not permanents that don't count. But like I was just going through the cards I had. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull one of every card with a unique counter type that I can find. And there's some weird counter types out there. I put the Azorius something in the filibuster counters. So that's gonna be the goal, is to win with filibuster counters with almost no proliferate in the deck, as a bit of a meme, while punching people in the face with a big boy commander.
Not happening.
And then I also got the Grixis one, which I'm going to be
Easy. Too easy.
doing Vampire Tribal with. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I haven't done Vampire Tribal before. I haven't built a Grixis deck in forever. I don't even remember the last one I built. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff in there. shock, someone's just doing echoes for fun. The horrors! Ace Ventura, very good. Master Sword, 10 points to Gryffindor. Forgive me if you've already answered this. Will multiplayer have party trading at the start, or is that to be added at a later time? I don't know what order any sort of trading systems will be implemented in regards to the when the multiplayer opens up to a larger group. There is not currently any way to trade items in multiplayer. There's no system like that set up at the moment, so maybe. The 5 Merc is fire with 3-piece Sazabi set. Really? I haven't read that word in a long time and not how I thought it was spelt. And just called Sabbies. In my mind, it's Sabby set.
Not happening.
That's interesting. I would not have thought that. Is that because you can up the sets now that they're really good? Let's go with this. Ring! Ring, 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 ring. The same old crap. Same old crap.
Not happening.
I probably should not be just like running through all the giant AoEs and running towards more enemies. This seems like a mistake, but you'd be right. Woo! It was tense. Sorry I didn't check in. I don't check in frequently with the game. Is there progress for multiplayer this year, or will it come the next? There was actually very recently a very large post that went out, so no worries about missing that. But you can check that out on our forums if someone wants to link that. That would be awesome for them. Lots of info in there. Basically, multiplayer is looking like it's going to happen this year. We've had our first test on Tuesday, which like last this like was it 3 days ago, 4 days ago, whatever it is, where people who don't work at EHG got to play multiplayer for the first time. Went fantastic. Really happy, really excited.
Not happening.
And yeah, stuff's going great. I don't know what else to say. For this favor system that is an alternate meta progression system, yep. Okay. I will just want to note on that. It's still in the concept phase, so a lot could change between now and then, now and release. So anything I say is very speculative on it. Will it start being utilized for characters before level 100? That's the plan right now. Yes. It's not like a once you've hit level 100 you get to do it. I guess the easy way to answer that question, and this might not be obvious, but we don't plan for most characters to hit level 100. And if there's any sort of major progression system, we expect every character to have easy access to it. And if most characters aren't hitting 100 and the progression system started after 100, most characters wouldn't have access to it. So, don't want that, so not doing that.
Not happening.
Oh, wrong thing. probably get this, shouldn't I? Want to go fast! Rolling around at the speed of sound. Sonic Adventure 2 Battles on GameCube was one of my favorite games. Is one of my favorite games. So good. That opening sequence, like dropping out of a helicopter. I don't know what I was like. Let's guess 15, 14, somewhere in there, and like, should figure when that came out. But like, I remember riding home in the car with the game, and like, you know, like you're riding home in the car, your mom's driving, you like open up the case, and you're like going through the manual that's in the case and checking out everything, and oh, that was a great game. I keep forgetting to check if there's more, if I finish this monolith or not. You know what, I'm just gonna teleport out and check. I don't care. Keep forgetting I can just right click on those now. I got an Urabrask. The new Urabrask is a really nice. It's like, so it's card advantage and like, and stacksy at the same time, but it's not like oppressive. It's just like, you have to play like a red deck. Go. And I love that, where it's like, it's got all the things I love in it. Love the new Urabrask. It's great. It's one of my in one of your set packs. Yeah. Literally can't read what's on the card. Yeah, because it's in Phyrex. You got the Phyrexian Altar version. So here's what it says. It says, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. At the beginning, each opponent's I can't have this wrong. Each opponent skips their draw step and exiles the top card of their library. Or at the beginning of their upkeep, they do the same. Basically, everyone impulses one card every turn, and your opponents don't get to draw as well. But they still get to play that top card of their library because they impulse it instead. They just have to play it that turn. Ooh. That's a really cool item. This item is really interesting. I remember making it. I really like this item. It's one of my favorite items in the game, which I know is weird, but yeah, I really like it. It was almost a pair of gloves. Ooh, Glyph of Despair. Plus life bonus to Frenzy. Act 5 Merc makes them virtually unkillable. Yeah, it destroys almost anything in hell as they can dual wield it. Yeah, dual wield. Like, that's the big thing about Act 2 Mercs is, so most of the really powerful auras that you can get are on weapons. Act 2 Mercs can only wield one weapon, but at the same time they get an aura built in. So you get one aura for free just for being an Act 2 Merc, and then you can get two. You get one more for having a weapon, so you can get two auras. There's other ways to get them too, but that's the main two ways that most people get them. But then Act 5 Mercs, yeah, they can dual wield, so you can get two of the weapon auras, which are generally actually stronger than the built-in ones. And I know it was a really elegant solution to the problem of only Act 2 Mercs are viable. And I think that's one of the biggest things that Diablo 2 suffers from after being played without updates for decades, literally. Is it's kind of solved. Like, I can like pick any character archetype, and I can probably tell you what your stat distribution is in your ideal stat distribution, and it's almost exactly the same for every single character, right? It's enough strength to wear your gear, possibly enough dex for max block or not, and the rest in vitality. Like, that's every single one of them. Ooh, 2 LP slab, that's nice. And oh my god. Come with me, my beetle army of the dead. It was a Countess reference, by the way.
Not happening.
Or, Blood Raven, sorry. Anyways, what am I trying to say here? And now they've got this, oh, most of them went away, that sucks. Now they've got 2 mercenaries that are viable, which is just awesome. I know a lot of the, or like Path of Diablo gave the insight meditation aura to the Act 3 mercenaries, which I thought was really smart. I'd love to see something done to make the other mercenaries a little bit more. And I think they did some stuff to most of them as well, and they're better, but they're not good enough yet. And it's going to be really hard because it's such an optimized game to ever get all of the mercenaries to be in a really good spot.
Easy. Too easy.
But I think that they were... I thought it was really well done, what they've got so far. Was impressed. Vicarious Visions knows what they're doing.
Not happening.
That's right, you Ice Goliath. Bleed out on me. Alright, why not just make easy to hit 100 and then have an EXP accrue in a system of infinite levels allowing for endless stat progression? Call them avatar levels or something. I can't really like. So I know you are very random name X. I know you're very well versed in ARPGs, and I can't tell if you're joking or not. But just in case you are not joking, I would suggest that we've seen this system already and seen the strengths and weaknesses of the system in Diablo 3. Because what you basically described as the Paragon system, just in case you're not joking, it's my original idea. Oh, I can't tell. Well, for anyone else who doesn't know this, just in case, Diablo 3 had that system exactly. It was called Paragon levels instead. And it contributes to this idea that the game doesn't start until max level, which I'm personally not a big fan of in an ARPG system like this. Because I believe that it takes away from the value of the entire leveling process. And it turns the leveling process into a how fast can I finish leveling so I can start playing. And that type of mentality is unfortunate, but very natural when presented with a system like that. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Not happening.
Try to just like shoot things through it. Stand as close to it so I get the widest arc that I can shoot through. Paragons could be okay if capped on a per character basis, I guess. There's a lot of things that people have explored. There's a lot of really good videos on the internet about people, on YouTube especially, about people exploring ways to improve upon and expand the Paragon system. And if anyone's interested in talking about that, I would really suggest going to read that. Or listen to that, watch that. Because smarter folks than I have presented cases about that much more eloquently than I would as well. I done the wrong one, didn't I? But I want this. Totally intentional.
Not happening.
Bullying in chat, where's the mods? I know, I'm just the worst, I'm sorry. I have no self-control.
Easy. Too easy.
Where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing? Who are we seeing?
Not happening.
Not that way. Marvel Heroes Online tried an improved Paragon system before being shut down. Marvel Heroes Online is a game that I regret not playing more so much.
Easy.
I wish I had played more of it. Because yeah, there's a lot of really good things that they did, like really awesome things, and yeah,
Easy.
too
Too
soon.
easy.
The flame that burns the brightest burns the shortest. Something, something, something.
Not happening. Easy. Too easy. Not happening.
Marvel Heroes is by far my most played video game ever. Wow. I don't regret a single minute. That's cool. I regret not playing it enough.
Not happening.
Who was your favorite hero? That's something I'd be interested in. If you had to pick one.
Not happening.
See ya. Thoughts on Blood for the Blood God? I mean, it's 11 mana. You gotta discard your whole hand. That's a pretty steep cost. Seems balanced to me. No, like a 3 mana, draw 8 cards, deal 8 damage to everyone at the table? Oh my god, what? It's immediately going in every single deck I have that can fit it. Immediately. I'm also split on the Universes Beyond stuff with the triangle hollow stamp at the bottom. I still don't have any of them in any of my decks, and I'm like still kind of like, am I going to? Oh my goodness. So I still don't know if I'm going to play it or not, just because it's in Universes Beyond.
This is a mercy.
And it feels like one of those cards that someone like One with Nothing, where people just like didn't understand why it could be good, or it was not designed with multiplayer in mind, or like, you know, there's some disconnect in the design that I think it's one of those cards where the floor is pretty low. Like, there's no creatures on the board, you've got a full grip, everyone else is out of cards, and you're playing an infect deck. Like, there's the floor of it. But like, all those things are controllable, really.
Do not stand in my way. Behold, the rage rage of winter. This is a mercy. Shatter.
Whoop.
Do not stand in my way.
Not happening.
This is a mercy. Shatter. Do not stand in my way. Rise, my fallen champions. Aid me. This is a mercy.
Yeah, shoot that decoy.
Shatter. Do not stand in
I spent a
my way.
long time working with our boss encounter design
This is a mercy.
lead on this, like making the mechanics work for it. So like it's one of those boss fights that I've only done it like, I don't know, like a dozen times or something, but I feel like I know it incredibly well because I spent so long working on it.
Not happening. Not happening.
This is a mercy. Shatter. Do not stand in my way.
Oh, dashed the wrong way.
Not happening.
Woo!
This is a mercy.
When you move your hand slightly on the keyboard,
Shatter. Do not stand in my way. This is a mercy. Shatter. Do not stand in my way. This is a mercy. Shatter. Do not stand in my way.
Not happening.
oh no!
This is a mercy. Shatter. Do not
Yeah, there we go.
stand in my way. To protect my
Get got. 2 temporal sanctum keys. My, I do declare. Fizzres. Shred Fizzres on hit. That's really nice. Ah, that is really nice. I feel like I kind of have to take that. My Fizzres, I think, is terrible. Oh no, it's great. This is a really interesting unique, actually. I talked about it a little bit on the unique design stream with Aaron, Action RPG, and what it does for Warcry, because it basically is one of the Warcry nodes, but you want the nodes behind it when you have the helmet. So it's kind of has like the sort of like inherent -1 to Warcry built into it because of that, because you're sort of wasting a point in the tree. So it got an extra +1 to skills if +1 to Warcry when we finally realized that. Someone pointed that out to us. Can't remember who it was. Good feedback from someone. You probably know who you are. Juggernaut elbow dropping madness. I love the idea of movement skill builds in. Okay. Second and third, Kitty Pyre and Scarlet. Not gonna correct myself. It's Scarlet Witch. Okay, let's go do a dungeon. Yeah, let's do a Temporal Sanctum because we've got it. We've got it here. Why not? Right? Why not? Oh, do we have legendary to make? That's why not. Is it not worth it to be able to scream "Blood for the Blood God" over and over again. So I've never played 40k, so I don't have any like allegiance to the IP or anything like that, or like so yeah. A lot of the story elements. The thing that got me a lot is that they're using this. They're adding a new creature type to Magic with this update. I couldn't believe it. They're actually adding in creature types of characters that are in 40k that are not in the Magic universe anywhere. So it's actually changing the lore of Magic by incorporating 40k. So now 40k and Magic actually exist in the same universe? Question mark? Somehow? I don't know. My favorite part about Magic is getting together and playing with friends and having fun and everything. And you can still do that. It doesn't matter. And like, I know lots of people have different IPs that they love, and getting that all incorporated together is really cool. Seeing those crossovers. There's some small part of me deep inside that's just like, but that's not Magic. Ah! I don't know. It's probably just something I've got to get over. You know, I think we could clean up our idols and get huge boost of power. But right now, I'm going to see if we've got any nice legendary potential items to make. Excuse me? No. Anything down here? I mean, meh? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is that worth doing? We'll lose a bunch of health. We get some skill points, more bleed, more movement speed, which is nice. If I could grab... What's the hockey dump items? Just shift, right click, yeah. Shift, right click. Right click will equip it. Shift, right click will move whatever item from cross pane. So, ooh, my control key just came off my keyboard. Oh no. Come on. I need a new control key. So if you've got any two panes, shift right click will move it between those two. It doesn't matter what it is. If you got left right pane, shops, stashes, anything that's left right, shift right click flips between them. Smear yourself with tomato ketchup or red food coloring. Wow. Just like how you designed the Abomination fight but forgot the key mechanic of the fight. Well, I mean, yes, I guess. Yeah, that happened recently, didn't it? I was just like, I've got this. Yeah, you know what? Do we have a unique belt or an exalted belt with increased health on it that I can take in here to do this? Yes, we do. Okay, let's real quick. We're gonna search belts. Oh my god, there's so many belts. We're just gonna hammer through this. Is it a higher one? No. There's gonna be like some huge LP belt in here somewhere. I'm just gonna be like, bah. Why is this showing me the search? Oh, because it can be on belts. Wow. Search deep. Yeah, this is why we need a little bit more information in our search, like some mild regex type commands that can go in here, or regex if you're a crazy person. Oh, there's another good one. That's what I was testing. Viper tail. Okay. So either one of those can turn into. Yeah, I need a Temple Sanctum key, don't I? Level 80. What am I? 81. Appropriately leveled. When will the results of the first multiplayer CT test be posted? I don't know. I think it's the first answer. I don't know if we will do like it lasted for this many minutes and it lasted for this many hours and we had this many bugs or anything like that. You know, I'm really not sure.
Intruders? A waste of time.
I feel like we should do something, right? It's hard though because there's a lot of the stuff that we were looking for that we were trying to monitor and were like the reason we were doing it basically is really boring and unexciting and mostly will just sound like stuff happened and we learned things. You know, like kind of the biggest thing is I like anecdotal stuff where like it went really well. I found myself talking to people more about here's something that's fairly indicative of how it went, I think. I found myself talking to people on the CT team more about design, like game design things, than I did about multiplayer functionality things. Like the hot topic of discussion was not multiplayer, because there wasn't really much to talk about because it was just kind of working, you know. Yeah. There wasn't a big like, oh my god, this is terrible because of that. It was just like, well, it works, so that's it. Yeah, phase shift through that door. I do not know how to set that trick up properly, or why it works, or how to fix it, but every once in a while I can pull it off. Alright, I attacked with Godzilla, you blocked with the guy from The Walking Dead, a space marine, and Vince from Baldur's Gate. What about that isn't Magic the Gathering to you? I guess we've gathered together everyone. Now, like, there's a lot of really awesome stuff, and a lot of the mechanics that are showing up are so cool, and like the design is ultra thematic. There was the Street Fighter cards were so well done. But I still don't think I'd ever put a Street Fighter card in my deck. You know, like, I had a ton of fun playing Street Fighter when I was a kid. I haven't played it in years, but like, so I don't have a huge connection to the franchise. But I don't know what it is about it, but I don't know. I don't think it's going anywhere. So I think we're gonna have to get used to it and come to terms with it, regardless. So the best thing we can do is have fun. I am happy that for the most part, the ones that are really far out of, like really far outside of the world, so like The Walking Dead and Stranger Things, you know, like they have they have in-lore magic equivalencies. In Street Fighter, there's an in-lore magic equivalency of that, and like I think that's really important and needs to be there for specifically those ones that are really far outside of it. 40K I think needs it too, but I don't think it's gonna get it. I'm a little if that one's on the edge for me. But things like the D&D set. So the D&D set it's technically the same thing, right? Like it's a different franchise, but the overall theming and the general setting is so similar that it feels like it could just be another Magic plane, right? And it like actually that's true. So I have a ton of D&D cards in my decks. I have a whole deck that's a Venture into the Dungeon deck, and I love it. But I guess it's just because it feels like it could be Magic to me. Like Warhammer Fantasy, I think would fit really well. See, I guess that's the line for me. It's got to feel closer to the Magic theming. But really, Magic can be anything, because you just go to a new plane, you know? My favorite part about playing Magic is hanging with my friends. Yeah, I'm sure the second CTMP test will be better and more interesting. I misremember the wording of the dev blog you released. You said, quote, after the first series of tests with our community testers, we'll be posting another update talking about how the tests went. Oh, okay, yes, we'll be doing that. Which means after multiple tests, this is not this first one in particular. My bad, sorry. Yeah, like, I'm not sure when that'll happen or how many tests that means. You're right, the wording's a little ambiguous, and it's probably intentional, so we're not like... Because I think we all hoped and had and sort of like knew how we thought the multiple test was going to go. Oh, 2 in a row! But no one really was expecting anything in particular, and we didn't want to... It's really short-term goals, so we're only looking, you know, like it's NASCAR, just around the next corner or whatever. I don't know anything about NASCAR. Like, be completely wrong. That's how I look at it. Where you're not really looking super far ahead. It's just like the next step, really. And we do look pretty far ahead, but we can't make expectations. I guess is the better way to put it. Oh boy. Because we can't say like, okay, we're gonna do these. We're gonna release this at this time and this at another time. We know it's gonna go this well, because there could be a huge problem that just derails everything. Something. The best laid plans of mice and men.
Finally, I will have its power.
Okay, bye. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Can you post a highlight reel of the CTs dying set to the tune of Benny Hill? Well, I don't think we have like a bunch of video footage of everyone dying. I don't know if there was many deaths really. There were definitely some. There was someone died a whole bunch. What do you think about Lord of the Rings in Magic the Gathering then? I think, yeah, like it's real close. I think I'd be able to accept it a little bit easier. It would fit great. I don't know, I still wouldn't. If it was entirely up to me and Magic was only being made for me in the most selfish way possible, we would not include Lord of the Rings in Magic, even though Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I demand to know when I can start shuffling up with Jewel Shade of Orvis. And Eterra. Dual deck Herot versus Raya. Do they do dual decks anymore? I would love to do this. So I say this whole thing about like not wanting to have these other franchises and everything, and around the time season 3 of Game of Thrones, the TV show, came out, I made a Game of Thrones themed draft set. So it's based on seasons 1 and 2, and I plan to do seasons 3 and 4 another set, and then finish out to 7 with a final set. And I fell off. I started working on Epoch, so I couldn't finish it properly. But I finished the first set. I actually have one sec. I actually have a ready to go. They're probably horrible now, but like little packs of like cards in 3 booster pack bundles for drafting, ready to go, of a fully Game of Thrones themed set. You know? And like my friends and I drafted it a couple times. I made Sam way too strong by mistake. So there's a few balance issues there, but like I had a ton of fun with that and everything, and I feel like that sort of thing kind of belongs in fan projects and not official products. I don't know. I'm so torn on it, and I have no idea what the right thing is. How do you make Sam overpowered? He was a 2-mana 0/2 that taps to scry for 2, I think is what it was. I could be wrong exactly what it was, but that's like, it was just that like really easy access to scry 2 in draft, and he was common or he was uncommon. So like one of my friends ended up with 3 of them in his deck, and he was just like digging through his deck for all the best cards so efficiently. Come on, girl.
Escape is impossible. Sapphire waters.
Not happening.
Maggots. Escape is impossible.
Not happening. Not happening.
Escape is impossible.
Dash a little soon there.
Maggots.
Not happening.
I'll take this one. That's fine.
Cannot be denied.
Oh, come on.
Escape is impossible.
Not happening. Not happening.
Yeah, I created a new mechanic for that set, which I realize was ill-conceived now, whereby you could basically bribe
Is impossible.
any sellsword to like fight for you if you had the mana. So it was like just like creatures that sit on the board, and you could like, anyone could just like pay the mana and just like pay for them to come over to your side. So they're like really good and cheap, but they can just be taken away from you if someone's willing to pay more. And every time someone pays, the price goes up.
Escape is impossible.
Whoa! I just like didn't see my health plummet there at all. Came so close to dying right at the finish line. That was scary. Whew. That's a cool helmet. I don't really want it. Pick it up. ICDR. Yeah. Let's go make our belt. Let's go make. Alright. Here we go. Oops. Equip. There. Right. This one doesn't work because there's 2 slots. So it doesn't know which one to find. Okay. First. Wait. What am I doing? First, we're going to try and get these up to as good as we can get. So which one's the best one to work off of? This one just because it's got the highest health stat. And then we want to re-roll this. Crit avoidance is really nice still, actually. Elemental, no. We don't want cold damage, no. Necrotic damage, no. We don't want that. Cold damage, that's too bad. Physical damage would be okay. Fortune potential's gone. Okay, should have upgraded the other stuff. That's okay. My image is on the wrong side. We're gonna come back and do this properly now. You know, no big deal. We're just gonna bump the endurance real quick. Nah. Okay. I think we're just gonna roll for the bigger health. It's also got the increased physical damage, the crit strike avoidance. Those are both nice stats. Let's go. I'm late. What did I miss? You know what, Aaron? I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything at all. I'll put something up here. I've got a legendary in the cache right now. We don't know what it is. It's sitting there. Here is a little tease of a new piece of gear. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oops. Oh, no, I did show it. Yeah, oh, hi, there we go. Yeah. So there's that. Which I like. Ah, yes, the good old point blank MM issue. Yeah. A Lagon staff. Oh, yeah. Okay. See what we got. Decent. Not what I wanted, but good. We do lose a bunch of health. How much health do we lose? That's like 280 health, 282 health. It's a fair bit. But I think the other stats are worth it. Can I shoot I-beams with that item? I don't think so. It'd be cool though, wouldn't it? Alright, we got 2 legendaries on our gear on our character now. Yeah. Yeah. I guess the increased throwing attack speed, this does actually increase the rate that we toss out decoy, which is nice. So there's something. What do we want to do? Which time we got? What time is it? You know what? Let's go. Let's just go start a monolith. Just start a monolith. Roll through it. Why not, right? We've got 2 more to finish before we get to... Oh, we got 1 more to finish. We're almost at empowered. I have not gotten to empowered monoliths on any character on stream yet, because I always switch too soon. But I'm really enjoying this marksman. Yes, Aaron, that is a staff. It's a lovely staff. Okay, and so I ruined your fun there. Alright, where's my experience nodes? This way. Here we go. Onward unto the abyss. I think something really interesting that I've been hearing as a general sentiment from people recently is like wanting more stuff to do in a lot of these situations in Epoch. And I think last week I may have not really addressed the concern very well. So I apologize for that, first off. And I think a more appropriate or genuine way of talking about those concerns, which are completely valid, first off, is more that like just yeah, we're gonna keep adding new stuff, and yeah, we know there needs to be more stuff, and like there's, I think, a general lack of 82 available things to do. Like in the monolith, we'd love there to be more more activities to take on and do as you're going through the monolith. And I think for people like a lot of you who are here who played a long time, I think probably feel this a lot more than maybe new players or people who haven't played in a while, things like that. And that's not to say it's not valid or anything like that. We definitely need that. We are right now really focusing on getting to that 1.0 mark. And a lot of these things where we're like, hey, we need more of this, we need more dungeons, we need more things to do in the dungeons, we need more engaging dungeons, we need more things to do in the monolith, we need more engaging monoliths. You know, all these things like that is it's all problems that we're working, and all problems that we are trying to add things to slowly and build up and build the quality up on all these things, and they'll definitely be improved and be changed and get added onto, and all these sorts of things. Prioritizing what order all of that happens in is really the hard part, and right now I think our priority really is on getting a version of Last Epoch out that we can say this is a complete game that has room for improvement and has room for expansion and has room for new and interesting evolutions, but having that like, here is a full complete game, because I think Last Epoch's amazing right now, but I don't think it's quite a full complete game. That's why we haven't released yet. So just wanted to take a second, mention that. Hopefully that makes people happy. So new in-game lightning staff dropped by Lagan. I don't wanna talk anything about that item. If I'm being honest, I saw it for the first time today myself. I've been told there is a message taking off in the Last Epoch Discord under suggestions and like to see. Can you confirm? No, because I haven't seen that actually. It's weird. I haven't checked the suggestions thread in almost 2 days now, which is really long for me. Usually I check it multiple times a day. I'm sorry, I don't know what it says. I guess I could look really quick, couldn't I? Oh my goodness. Lowering the set. Oh, it's there's something that I said that's being quoted. But it looks like it's highlighting about how it uses way more CPU than GPU. That might be what you're talking about. That was yesterday. lot of reading there. I don't have time to read all this right now. Okay. I'll go look at it later.
Not happening.
And so I'm not just running around in circles out of the corner of my eye to not die. Are concepts already underway post 1.0 for in-game content? Oh yeah. In terms of entirely new systems, the core is fine right now. In terms of the foundation, yeah, there's all sorts of end-game systems that we've talked about or like put design time into and been like, okay, we'd love to do something like this, or we'd love to do something themed around this, or you know, something to get people doing this type of activity and open up like this other type of scaling or something like that, or you know, there's all sorts of things that we've got ideas that we want to do, and there's some that are definitely like more in the like higher priority category than others. But if there's one thing we're not short on, it's ideas.
Easy. Too easy.
There's one thing we're not short on is good ideas. There's a lot of really good ideas. The hardest part is picking the best ideas. Did I walk right past it? I did.
Not happening. Not happening.
That's right, Mike. Stand right beside your decoy. That'll be a good idea. They won't be able to tell which one's which. So smart. It's the last message in Discord under suggestions, and like to see. You'll know when you see it. Wink. Oh, McFluffins, like there's some like there's some texture that's missing from his game files or something, or not rendering properly. Oh, that's volcanic orb and pictures of rats. Ah, okay. I'm with you. I understand what's going on. It took me quite a while to figure it out because I'm real slow. Yeah. I think it would be irresponsible to do that. I don't know.
Not happening.
I'm sure there will be some meme options for cosmetics that appear at some point.
Not happening.
Too busy creating an awesome golem item? Yeah, I actually finished that this morning. I had this one little bug where you could still summon skeleton warriors. You can summon one warrior all the time, no matter what. I'm just like, this one won't go away. Bah! He just wouldn't leave me alone. Like, be my friend. Oh, I'm not merged into the main branch, so it still has all the old stuff in it too. I'm gonna make a PR for it as soon as we're done stream. Llama decoy. Yeah, stuff like that. That'd be great. Are there plans for aspirational content? Yes. Like Ubers in D2 or half the bosses in PoE, where you need to have sick gear to do and get a possibly random reward. In other words, Ellie Hellfire Torch when. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yes. When? I don't know. Like that it's possible that may not even show up until post launch, really, in like a full-fledged form of like really a lot of stuff. It's possible. Might be before, it might not be. I don't know. I think that would fall into that category of it depends how much time multiplayer takes to finish. You know, like if multiplayer takes less time than we expect to finish, yeah, there's a good chance. If multiplayer takes more time than we expect to finish, nah, it's probably won't happen before launch. Like it's probably in that category, which is like half the features that we want to put in. Basically everything's in that category. Finish multiplayer, and then see what else we have time to put in for. It is so hot in here. I can't open that door. It looks get hotter. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? We've got a little video to show you. Ba-boom! Ooh. Ooh, ah! Ooh, ah! Yeah! Yeah, so this is new armor set. Looks pretty sweet. Pumped for it. Yeah. One more rotation. Here we go. Appreciate the emphasis on knee and shin safety in this armor. Yeah, like knees are so important. I have awful knees, and it sucks. And it's a weird thing where like one of the nerves like runs along the side of my knee in the wrong way, and it like whenever I skate, it gets really bad. So I like have to take my hands and like wrap them around my knee and go like this really hard on the sides of my knee in order to like push it back into the right spot, or else I like can't skate properly. The one thing a lot of people don't know is when you're skating, you're actually pushing to the side, not back. You don't push yourself. You don't like you keep your feet. Yeah, like you're pushing to the side, not pushing back. And like it's a completely different motion than walking. Can't wait to be able to play hockey again. Oh. Man, I miss it. after like COVID's calming down. It's not gone and everything, but like it's getting a little better and things are starting to open up again and everything. And I've had several friends who I used to play hockey with call me up out of the blue, just be like, "We need more people to round out our teams after the pandemic," and I'm like, "Yeah, pandemic's not over for me, guys. I'll call you when I'm comfortable." Boy, I'd love to play. One more leak, one more leak, one more leak. Don't have any more leaks. Sorry about that. Just the two. There was some verbal leaks. I said some stuff earlier. I'm sure you'll watch it back through and see. I heard a lot of concerns from people when multiplayer released. A majority of the players will jump onto LE, trying it out and expecting a full-fledged game already, then being disappointed. Are there plans from EHG side to clearly communicate, hey, it's multiplayer, but now we will ramp up our content patch cycles to finish up the features that are missing? I mean, yeah, I think it'll be really clear that, like, this is still an early access title. Like, when multiplayer launches, the game's not out yet. It's an early access title. It's still in development. Hopefully that's going to be obvious and clear to people. I'm not sure it will be, but I guess I'll try and make sure it is. Maybe that's just like maybe that comes from having been a part of a lot of those types of things before in the past and understanding that like what a non 1 point something plus like having a version number that's less than 1, what that means. But I'd hope that most people that were involved in it would still appreciate that.
Not happening.
Do you think that'll be a problem? Do you think that'll be a comprehension problem? I hope not. I don't think that's that clear. Gamers are not that way. Oh, am I just a weirdo? Well, I know I'm a weirdo, but
Not happening.
I feel like most people would inherently understand that an unreleased product that's still in development is not complete. No?
Easy. Too easy.
Like if someone got a hold of or if they like released movies before they were done, like the CGI is not finished and like and all that sort of stuff, I feel like people would inherently be able to understand that okay, the movie's not out yet and you can't judge this based on a full release title and all those sorts of things. Or maybe I'm just completely out to lunch and they would do the same thing for that too.
Not happening.
Is this one of those I don't understand how people think problems? Was that the Mage Armor leak different than the T60 one shown during the last devlog? I don't know. Honestly, I can't remember what was shown in the last devlog. I think that was a problem for like Valheim, but I see gamers figured it out. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Different armor, yes. Yeah, okay, yes, it is different. I seriously think there will be a large portion of players writing LE off after they jumped on it when multiplayer is released and not being satisfied. I mean, the horrible answer to that is like, well, I guess we'll just delay multiplayer until we release the whole game. Don't worry, not happening. Well, we are at time. If anyone's got any very last second questions, I might be able to slip one in, but for now, I hope you had fun. I know I did. From everyone here at 11th Hour Games, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great time doing whatever you're doing. And thanks for stopping by.